Good afternoon. Just about to get started. Just make sure I've got everything set up here and that my mic's working. Sounds good. For now, anyway. And is that what I want? Don't think so. Let's see here. I'm going to the wrong option. Stream manager, there we go. Manage stream. Happy days. Still getting the hang of this, but I think I'm getting there. He says hopefully. There we go. I think I'm sorted. So, let's begin Crimes and Punishments, Sherlock Holmes. Auto save, always cool. New game, of course. Well, that's not good screen placement. The Fate of Black Peter. For being an older game, it doesn't look too bad initially. Okay.
Holmes, will you stop that? You are utterly mad.
I mean, good choice of music to start. Hollow Mountain King. Love it.
Stop, Holmes!
Is that you, Watson?
Yes, of course it is. And you almost killed me.
Nonsense. I was aiming for the vases.
Blindfolded?
Watson, quiet, please. I'm trying to concentrate. Ah, Lestrade. What is it this time?
He can see me. Well, here it is, and it's a good one, Mr. Holmes. A gentleman by the name of Peter Carey, also known as Black Peter, has been murdered.
A sailor, most probably.
What happened here?
What
Oh,
on
Mr.
earth makes him
Holmes,
think
how
sailor?
could you?
It's the only exercise I've had all week. A grateful client from Limoges sent me a vase collection this morning. I couldn't think of a better use for it.
You're out of your mind.
I missed 4 out of 10.
Given you were blindfolded, that was very good. Can I have a try?
Am I the only sane one here?
I suppose that
Potentially.
Watson is right, Inspector. A little brain work would be preferable now. Do please tell us more about Black Peter.
Peter Carey, born in 1845 and 50 years old. An ambitious sort, he achieved much success in seal and whale hunting around Scandinavia. Retired in 1884 with a small fortune. He invested his money in a property called Woodman's Lee, near Forest Row in Sussex. It was where he lived for 6 years, and where he was found dead yesterday.
Has the investigation already begun?
Yes and no. In fact, this crime is so mysterious that I would prefer you to join me down there.
Give me half an hour to prepare, Inspector.
Take your time and join me there. I have to go through the yard first. The merry men struck again.
What have they done this time?
They robbed a powder reserve. I'll meet you at Woodman's Lee, Mr. Holmes.
I should help Mrs. Hudson here. I also have several appointments that I must keep this afternoon.
I shall go alone then.
Okay, so press square to open the casebook and check your current progress. I'm so 50 years old, achieved great sense from whale hunting in Scandinavia, retired. R1? Nope. Oh, there we go. Measuring. Alright, yeah, it's telling me there. Else moves the book. Different pages. Map of London. Task: investigate the murder of Peter Carey, inspect the crime scene, select a suit to wear using your personal wardrobe, and join Lestrade at Woodman's Lee. Holmes, the grotesque affair that involved the former captain known as Black Peter. Cool. What was this one? Documents, don't have any of them. Souvenirs, echoes, character portraits. Not found where we met in current case. Future case. Okay, so nice wee collectible bit there. Okay, nothing else in there. So things to look about in here. Oh, analyze table.
My analysis table. It is useful for my work.
Analysis, not analyze. That's the dyslexia in me, unable to make out simple words. Anything over here? Oh, there's something there.
You go along to Peter Carey's house. Mrs. Hudson and I will take care of the mess you've made here.
Can't look out the window.
A map of London and the surrounding area. It could be useful.
Oh, what a mess! What a terrible mess!
This is where I keep my post. This is where I keep my post.
Informative.
My archive. I can always consult with it if needed. My archive. I can always consult with it if needed. My archive.
Okay, so they're both
I
the
can
same.
always consult with it
Go to
if
Holmes'
needed.
rooms. Alright. So we're here then. And
My
guys, an archive.
I can always consult with it if...
Okay. So is that like the way out then? Go to Watson's room. Hello, Watson's room. What interesting nonsense do you have in here? Nothing. Jack shit in there. Okay. Makeup table. Disguises and stuff, that's cool. Nothing inside the bed? Nope. That's the wardrobe, so I need to pick a suit. Struggling to walk around the fucking bed. There we go, okay. Can I make a disguise? Oh. Some of them are locked, I see. Guess I have to do certain things to unlock them. Okay, classes. Also locked. Facial hair. Also locked. So make a costume you have kind of. That's fine. I wasn't trying really to equip it. Okay. Unbound suit. Cobra suit. Black suit. Brown suit. Can I increase the brightness here? I don't know how it looks on the stream, but video I won't. It's a bit better. Can at least now tell the difference between the black and the brown. Oh, the green's quite nice. This is a grey. Band outfit. Let's go with the green. Do I just circle out? Oh yes, very spiffing. Very spiffing Holmes. Jolly good old chap. Let's see here, so... Woodman's Lee. Words. And that's just going to tell me things I've already read. Right, so I need to inspect the crime scene at Woodman's Lee and investigate the murder of Peter Carey. AKA
Mr. Holmes, I'm over here. Come on.
It seems that the garden was well maintained.
Mr. Holmes? Mr. Holmes?
These footprints appear to be quite large.
a man's. Or a woman in man's shoes. There aren't anyone left recently on a patch of wet earth at Women's Lee. They may have been left by a murderer. Perhaps I could find a pair of boots that would match them. Right on. So does that indicate a dialogue option? Right, okay. If I go into that, does anything new happen? No, okay.
Mr. Holmes?
Mr. Holmes? I'm gonna get tired of hearing that very quickly. What's behind the house? Let's go into our focus mode. A house, of course, I mean shack. Oh, something up here there?
It seems that the garden was well maintained.
Okay.
Mr. Holmes?
Mr. Holmes. I wonder what my name is. Oh,
Inspector Lestrade, when will you remove my husband's body? It's sacrilegious to leave him here like this.
As soon as we can, Mrs. Carey, I assure you. Allow me to introduce you to Mr. Sherlock Holmes. He's a detective. No doubt you've heard of him. I'll wait for you in front of the cabin, Mr. Holmes.
My condolences, Mrs. Carey.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes.
okay.
Madam, can you tell me if you saw or heard anything unusual upon the night of the murder?
At 2 o'clock in the morning, I heard a terrible scream. But I thought nothing of it then. He would scream all the time when he was drunk.
Ah,
Do you remember at what time you found your husband's body?
In the morning, at around 7 o'clock, I noticed the cabin door was open. But I didn't go in to take a look, for I knew my husband would not have liked it. At around 10 o'clock, I dared to glance in through the door and... Oh dear.
it's her. She's a murderer.
The garden is very large and well maintained. Do you employ someone to look after it?
It is true, there is a lot of work, but my husband took care of it himself.
I ain't buying that. Visitors.
Was your husband accustomed to receiving visitors?
Oh, no, I don't think so. I mean, he didn't really have many friends. He lived quite an isolated life here, after his retirement.
Of course, of course.
Can you please tell me what occurred on the evening of the murder?
Well, Peter got drunk in the evening. He was in such a terrible temper. Usually, whenever that happened, he'd stay all night drinking in his cabin before passing out.
Right, so I'm guessing that's green because it means I've done it.
You have indeed suffered a great loss, Mrs. Carey. Nevertheless, I believe it will be less of a burden for you soon.
Yes, life with Peter was never easy, but he was still my husband.
He was different, wasn't he, when you first met him upon your return from Plymouth?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. Oh, my goodness, but how do you know about that?
Never mind. You have indeed suffered a great loss, Mrs. Carey. Nevertheless, I believe it will be less of a burden for you soon.
Yes, Life with Peter was never easy, but he was still my husband.
He was different, wasn't he, when you first met him upon your return from Plymouth?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. Oh, my goodness, but how do you know about that?
Never mind.
Is it because I'm pressing square? Am I not meant to press square?
You have indeed suffered a great loss, Mrs. Carey. Nevertheless, I believe
Or is
it
it
will
a-
be less of a burden for you soon.
Yes. Life with Peter was never easy, but he was still my husband.
He was different, wasn't he, when you first met him upon your return from Plymouth?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. Oh, my goodness, but how do you know about that?
Never mind. You have indeed suffered a great loss, Mrs. Carey. Nevertheless, I believe it will be less of a burden for you soon.
Yes. Life with Peter.
Isn't that right way?
He was different, wasn't he, when you first met him upon your return from Plymouth?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. Oh, my goodness, but how do you know about that?
Oh. Choose the evidence that confronts the statements of the character in order to continue investigation. Cool. Got no documents. Just is from a country somewhere near the ancient pyramids of Inverness and Strathspey, Scotland, where the crest of a bird can be found. She is religious in politics.
You undertook a pilgrimage to the Cathedral of Santiago de Compostela when you were young. That much is evident from the rosary in your hand. The shortest route for the pilgrim from England to Spain is from Plymouth. I believe that you met Peter Carey as a young sailor there, and you married him soon afterwards.
That is indeed what happened, Mr. Holmes. How extraordinary.
No.
Thank you, madam.
No. Lestrade.
Peter Carey's body is inside the cabin.
That
We
hurt.
took care not to touch anything. Peter Carey's body is inside the cabin.
The door is locked.
Wait just a moment, Mr. Holmes, and I'll open it. I locked it yesterday to ensure that no one should enter the cabin and tamper with the evidence.
Ah, good thinking.
Hello.
What is it, Lestrade?
It seems to me that someone has tried to force it, Mr. Holmes.
Let me see.
Let's look around all the other bits first. Check out those hinges. Alright.
These scratches are fresh. You're right. Someone tried to force open the door.
I swear these scratches were not here yesterday.
Our mysterious visitor came here last night.
Well, he's not the man for the job. This lock is not a difficult one.
Perhaps he did not have the right tool.
Ooh.
What a terrible way to die. The tooth of a sperm whale, probably from one of Peter Carey's catches. This place is not covered with dust, like the rest of the shelf. An object was taken from here. It was larger than a book, a box or a small chest, perhaps. The ship's logs of the Sea Unicorn for the years 1878 to 1884. Peter Carey was her captain. The ship's logs of the Sea Unicorn for the years 1878 to 1884. Peter Carey was her captain. Peter Carey's boots. They look to be a size 8. Old navigation instruments, nothing interesting. The weapon fully penetrated the body. The force of the blow was immense.
I mean, it'd have to be a go straight through him like that, wouldn't it?
This man is in his 50s, yet he still looks quite strong.
It's a lot of blood.
JHN are probably the initials of the owner of this notebook.
Didn't mean to do that.
The pattern of the blood stain indicates that the notebook was not lying on the floor prior to the crime, but it was dropped into the pool of blood after the death of Peter Carey. These abbreviations mean something, but what? Someone was here yesterday. They attempted to force the door to gain entry. This wooden handle is plain and solid. This blood is from the pool underneath the dead body. Peter Carey tried to defend himself with this knife, but he did not succeed. Peter Carey was fully dressed. He was not caught by surprise. It is possible that he knew his murderer. Peter Carey was impaled to the wall by a whaling harpoon.
Yeah.
The Sea Unicorn. She was the ship that Peter Carey commanded. Someone drank from this glass recently. The initials PC have been crudely burned. A sailor's work.
I've lifted it, but oh,
This aroma is familiar, but to recognize it, I must construct my associations in one picture.
am I looking at it backwards? Is that my issue? Oh, quite possibly. I'm not skipping it. You can see that option there. Oh, this is... So, it's only allowing me to move that up and down. Can I go left or right with it? Oh, wait.
Yes, this is a coarse tobacco, quite strong and very popular among sailors. Rum, a sailor's drink. It seems that Captain Carey was enjoying a drink before he met his death.
Ah, but there's two classes. Who was he enjoying it with? The ultimate question. No, I mean, look at those pictures there, innit? Or that top shelf. I looked there.
The ship's logs of the Sea Unicorn for the years 1878 to 1884. Peter Carey was her captain.
So I feel like there's something missing there. In fact, that's not showing green. Here, okay, so evidence. So I've got dialogue for that, things to do with that. Yeah, I do feel like I'm missing some. Oh! What were you? Map. That was his route.
Dundee. Hammerfest. It's a whaling map.
Okay. So I've already looked at that. Okay. Let's go with these boot prints. So I reckon too small.
These boots don't match the footprints.
But they're not far off. It's probably 9.5. So that's a dialogue, and that's a dialogue. Right, okay. About you, Lestrade, you want to talk?
Well, Mr. Holmes, what do you think?
I think that we are lucky.
And why is that?
Because of last night's attempted break-in.
Oof, you've lost me.
It is very probable that whoever came here hoped to find the door open. They tried to force it with a knife blade, but they failed. What will they do? Why, return tonight, when they will be better prepared.
Aha! So what do you propose?
We shall remain on the outside, near the window, where we stand the best chance of catching sight of our visitor. Well, gentlemen, ready your pistols. We have a long night ahead of us.
But let's go Miss Fancy Pants up here.
Is this your husband's tobacco pouch?
I'm not sure. It might be, but he hadn't smoked in a very long time.
Your husband's private papers. Do you know where they are?
There was a small tin box, barely larger than a book. He kept his papers there. It should be somewhere in his cabin.
Thank you, madam.
Right, so today, now it's just speaking to Lestrade, and oh, okay, so circle puts me in first person view, that's good to know. Go.
We need to find a good place for an ambush. Perhaps behind Carey's cabin, near the window.
This window is locked from the inside. I do not see any attempt at a break-in. This looks like the perfect hiding place.
Oh, pardon me.
Shh. Did you hear that? There's someone there. I'm gonna collar him.
I'll be right behind you.
Police! Hold it right there. All right, my fine fellow. Who are you and what are you doing here?
You're detectives, I suppose. You imagine that I'm connected with the death of Captain Carey. I assure you I'm innocent.
Innocent? And what are you doing in his cabin?
Shall I tell you? You came to retrieve what you had lost after killing Peter Carey, but we were here waiting for you.
What is your name?
John Hopley Nelligan, but I didn't...
Do you deny that you came here yesterday?
No, but I... Yes, it's just that I couldn't...
I'm tired of this. Off we go to the yard. Tomorrow, I'll see that you're put in front of the judge.
What? But you can't! I'm not... It's a terrible mistake!
Enough. You can explain all of that to the judge. You're coming with me to the yard.
To the yard.
But...
In light of recent events, it seems evident that your coming here was unnecessary. All the same, I'm very grateful to you, Mr. Holmes.
You are welcome, Inspector. But please don't be too hard on our young fellow. I would like to question him tomorrow morning.
Scotland Yard. Okay, nothing new. Oh, straight into the yard, examine belongings. In the evidence room and interrogate him. Cool.
Mr. Holmes?
Mr. Holmes?
Good morning, Mr. Holmes. Can I help you?
Good morning, Constable. I would like to speak to the fellow who was arrested at Woodman's Lee last night.
Ah, the young man. He's waiting in the interrogation room. You can go straight through. His belongings are held in the evidence room.
Thank you.
Mr. Holmes?
These are the suspect's belongings. From R. Dawson. And partner, 1883. To my friend, Dawson. I've seen this name before. Perhaps my archive holds the answer. A handkerchief with the initials J.H.N. The notebook that we found on Peter Carey's cabin floor. These abbreviations mean something, but what? A pocket knife. It was used to force the door of Peter Carey's cabin.
Still dead or something.
Locked.
That's the interrogation room.
Mr. Holmes?
Right. Let's see what this whippersnapper has to say. It's got a hat. Good to know. Patches. He's poor. If you say so. He has buttons. Calluses. Some more defensive rooms. Oh, those ones are. Okay. Right. Missed one. Please. For him.
The sea knife was found near Carey's body. Tell me, Mr. Nelligan, did Mr. Carey try to defend himself or to attack you with it?
I don't know. I didn't kill anyone.
The police seized this valuable ring from you. Whose is it?
I didn't steal it from anyone. It has always belonged to me.
"19 years old, he was raised in wealth, but after the desertion of his father 10 years ago, he and his family fell into poverty. He worked to earn money by cleaning fish, despite his manual work. Physically.
The ring's date of engraving is many years ago. You would have been a child then, hardly in any position to receive such an item from a partner. So, Mr. Nelligan, who is the true owner of the ring?
The ring is mine.
Sorry, I'll try and do better.
So, Mr. Nelligan.
The ring is mine.
So is it a case I selected? Okay. So there's more than one right answer.
The ring is mine.
Right. So I've selected father's jacket and ring engraving. Well, orchid garden, no tobacco pouch. Not profile of it, I'm okay. I'm clearly no Sherlock Holmes here.
The ring is mine. The ring is mine.
Is it because there's an answer missing?
So,
The ring is mine.
So if I select engraving again, I'm going to get wrong answer. So I need to do more research.
so,
The ring is mine.
never. Does this notebook belong to you?
Yes. But where did you find it? I did not know... I thought I'd lost it at the hotel.
What do these abbreviations mean?
Oh, no. I beg you, I can't. If I told you, it would only make things worse.
But I will find out eventually, Mr. Nelligan. Well, I will see you soon, young.
Right, so I've got break-in attempts. Bjarke was armed with a knife, but he did not have time to use it. The murderer acted quickly and instinctively. What's this wee nugget here? Whether a skilled infantryman could use a harpoon well enough to kill by fully piercing the body. I doubt it.
Please, let me go. I'm innocent.
Prepare for a spoon throwing experiment.
Locked.
Place. Shit. Sarah. So I'll make sure. I reckon none of these will line up. Oh. I don't know what I matched there. She's a notebook. Of course. I've been lying on a put, but this proves the guilt of the person who made these. That's what I wanted. How do I get back to that page? Please. Clues. Right, missing tin box. Right, yes, I have gone through that. Right. Okay, happy with all that. Continue. So I need to go to the archive first. See.
A map of London and the surrounding area. It could be useful.
Oh, look at them. They've done a good job tidying up. Isn't that nice of them?
A spot of whaling, Watson. Would you care to take part?
Are you serious?
No. But we do need to clarify what happened on the night of Black Peter's murder.
A reenactment, then? Is something bothering you?
The sailor's knife, Watson. Why was it on the floor?
Peter Carey
Why?
attempted to defend himself?
It is possible. But if that is the case, then it alters many things.
I don't quite follow you.
Tell me, my friend, what is the animal closest to man, morphologically, I mean?
Ah, I see what you're getting at, Holmes. You asked me that once before. On the Ripper case, I believe. Do you want to slit some more pigs' throats?
No.
Well, thank goodness for that.
I wish to impale one with a harpoon.
Wonderful.
Wonderful
Watson,
indeed.
let us pay a visit to our butcher friend in Whitechapel. We require the carcass of a well-fed pig.
And the harpoon?
One of the harpoons on the wall of Black Peter's cabin should do quite nicely.
I don't want to leave yet, because there's a doggy.
Brave Toby. The best nose in the British Empire.
Right. I was not expecting that. Rather not do that again.
My analysis table. It is useful for my work.
Search for Dawson, 1883. Don't think that'll be an encyclopedia.
That is not the one I need.
Museum, House of Parliament.
That is not the one. That is not the... That is not the one. That is not the one I need.
Ah, okay. Economic science, urban planning. Don't think there'll be any of them. Newspapers. Well, 1883. Fund bankrupt. That was a call. Excuse me, must be sleeping than I thought. Preparing for departure to Norway. Brought by police and his creditors.
Here it is. Now I begin to understand that young man's story, but I am still unclear as to what connects him with the murder. It is time to ask him. I need to take a harpoon with me.
Any new deductions?
Who could do such a thing? My poor husband.
That should do it. Now I am ready for the... The ship's...
There we go. Oh. With all the trouble looking still dead. And that's the exit. Anything else in here?
Well, here we are in the preparation room. I can't say that I like the smell of it much. What do you intend to do?
To indulge myself in a little experiment. The challenge of lancing a pig's carcass with a heavy harpoon.
A little experiment?
Stand aside, Watson. This might be dangerous. I am not well practiced in this exercise. Yet.
Yet.
Holmes, you should aim for the mark in order to perform the most reliable test.
That was
Holmes,
terrible.
you should try to aim better and throw as hard as you can.
Bit better. Success.
This is the best possible result that I could get. Do you see, Watson? Throwing a harpoon and pinning a man to a wall requires either exceptional strength and training or diabolical luck.
If it was luck, then it was a chance in 1,000 that night.
Well, yes. Let us leave now.
All right. But before we go, I suppose I'll have to pay for all these carcasses you've happily mangled.
Very well, but please hurry.
Of course.
That is very Holmes-like. Right, so pin to the wall, strength requirements, yeah. It requires much greater strength than that of the average man to be able to pierce a man's chest with a harpoon all the way through to the wall. A degree of skill would mostly be necessary. Two men in cooperation might achieve the same result. It's a remote possibility that an unskilled, untrained man could manage to pin Peter Kay to the wall with a harpoon. Oh, so is it letting me pick which deduction I'm going with? Just leave on feat of strength just now. It's now Scotland Yard R1, isn't it? Yeah. In fact, let's change it to luck. I think that's more probable. Hello, Mr. Holmes.
So, Mr. Nelligan, who is the true owner of the ring?
The ring is mine.
Never mind.
Hang on.
So, Mr.
The ring is mine.
No, Mr. Nelligan. I believe that the ring had belonged to your father.
Oh, but how do you know?
The jacket you are wearing is made of an expensive fabric that only a man of exceptional wealth could afford. You do not seem to me to be a rich man, Mr. Nelligan. Furthermore, the garment is ill-fitting. It is quite clear that it belonged to someone else, most probably your father. With your father gone and taking with him the family's wealth, as a little boy you had to find yourself a manual job, and it was most probably cleaning fish. You cut your hands often while working. I can tell from the scars.
I'm speechless, Mr. Holmes. It all happened exactly as you say.
I have heard the story of Dawson and Nelligan, the West Country bankers.
Yes. Joshua Nelligan was my father.
I am aware that it had a bad ending. When the bank failed, it ruined half the families of Cornwall, whereupon Joshua Nelligan disappeared.
My father was under extraordinary pressure. Dawson had retired. I was only 10 years of age at the time, but it was still old enough to feel the shame that befell our family.
Poor
My
lad.
father was convinced that he could pay off all his debts if the creditors gave him time. He set sail for Hammerfest in Norway in his small yacht, just a few days before an arrest warrant was issued. He left my mother a list of the securities he was taking. No word was ever heard from him again. We believe that his vessel went down, taking with it everyone and everything on board.
Nah, he's alive.
Thank you for the story, Mr. Nelligan. At last, we are making some progress.
It's gonna be he's came back and murdering.
Joshua Nelligan and Peter Carey were both at sea in Norway. There is definitely some connection between Peter Carey and Joshua Nelligan's disappearance.
Do I still have the wrong button? There we go. What's that tell me first? Ship's logs, cool. I want the notebook. I wonder if that's a list of the securities somehow.
Mr. Holmes?
Mr. Holmes. Ms. Lee. Any deductions to be made? Oh, no. Back here again.
(1883). This is the crew list of the Sea Unicorn.
Crewmaster, first mate, Lancaster King.
Log notes for June. This log notes for August. These pages have been log notes, log note. This log notes for August. These log note, This is the crew list of the Sea Unicorn. This is the crew log notes for June. Nothing
Light
unusual.
breeze through the day, saw whale tail on side. Just
Log notes for June. Nothing unusual. Log notes for July. Nothing special. Log notes for August. These pages have been taught. Log notes for August. These Canadian Pacific Railway, CPR, a torn piece from a bond certificate. I have seen this abbreviation somewhere very recently. There are 3 ways of discovering what happened in August of 1883 aboard the Sea Unicorn. The first 2 of these will require speaking with a dead man. The last would be to locate vital witnesses, the sailors involved in this whale hunt campaign.
I see. Task for Wiggins. Okay, Wiggins. CPR. What's the series of numbers? You got anything to add? Apparently not. So where do you want me to go? Seems must be the usual thief. What's the role waiting for? He should be somewhere at Baker Street. Cool. Any new deductions? Nope. Onwards, Watson, onwards!
Something new, Watson. I have the list of sailors who were aboard the Sea Unicorn. We shall soon learn what happened to Nelligan's father. I have only to find them. Let us hope they're still working at the harbour.
I think that if you pretend you're from Scotland Yard...
I doubt it, Watson. And really, I would prefer that all of this remains quiet for now. But I have another solution. I'll call in the specialist.
And who might they be?
The secret police division of Baker Street.
Ah, you mean young Wiggins and his gang?
Yes. Believe me, you'll receive more useful assistance from these little urchins than from a dozen yard detectives. Those children are everywhere. They see and hear everything, and they are cunning. All they lack is organization. I'll summon them.
How will you do that?
There is always a watch beneath our window. I have only to call him. Watson, I need Wiggins. Is he anywhere nearby?
He's right across the street. You can give him a sign from the window.
Wiggins, could you come upstairs, please?
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
Wiggins, I need you to track down certain people for me. I'll give you a list. You can read, can't you?
Big Oliver from our gang. He can, because his father is the coachman of a famous lawyer.
Fascinating. Here is the list of sailors.
Sailors? Easy. Just got to look where the rum and the red lights are.
Sorry to trouble you, Mr. Holmes, but the inspector asks that you come to the station as soon as possible.
Thank you. I'll be there shortly.
Well, I mean, it's not completed. I've not found them yet. I'm looking for them. Two
My
very different
analysis
things.
table. It is useful for my work.
So I've got 3 out of the 6. 5. God, I can't count. Portraits. Not found any echoes. Not found any souvenirs. Don't even know what either of them are. That's my only document so far. Bonds the CPR. Find a use. Can I do that at the analysis table?
My analysis table. It is useful for my work. My archive. I can always consult with it if needed.
So with the I feel like
Mr. Holmes, I'm glad to see you.
As always. What happened?
We have a new suspect, Liam Hurtley. I'm thinking that this case will be resolved very quickly now.
Interesting. Pray tell.
Well, the constable that I left at Woodman's Lee noticed a suspicious individual prowling around during the night.
Do you have him here?
Yes. He refuses to speak with us, but we'll make him talk.
Let
Can I
us
have a go?
hope so.
Ah, yes, and one more thing. The constable told me that at the time of his arrest, the fellow was writing a letter.
Do you have it?
Of course. It's in the evidence room, at your disposal. Admit that for once, Mr. Holmes, Scotland Yard is a step ahead of you, eh?
Breathtaking. These
here
are
we
the
go.
suspect's belongings. I wonder if these are connected.
They are.
Now we have the proof that Nelligan's papers were indeed here. It seems that they have vanished, however.
The break times for me in order to choose and not put. Blackbeard's cabin explains its presence at the Yeah. Oh. But stealing the bond stuff might have been a motive for him to murder Peter Carey. Yeah. I'd say so.
These are the suspect's belongings. The stains are fresh. They can be removed with the proper chemicals.
Analysis table.
A pen. Nothing unusual about it. Liam Hurtley's old boots. They're a size 9.5.
I said 9.5. Do you know how I said 9.5? Because I'm smart. To Baker Street. Time to do science. All the science.
I need to prepare a chemical agent that is capable of removing fresh ink. For this purpose, the chemicals from the flasks should be combined in a certain order to perform a chain reaction. First condition, all 7 reagents should be used. Second condition, orange reagent should be the third one in the sequence after the blue reagent. Third condition, colorless reagent should be added after the orange reagent.
What?
First condition, all 7 reagents should be used.
Okay.
Second condition, orange reagent should be the third one in the sequence after the blue reagent. Third condition, colorless reagent should be added after the orange reagent.
Okay, so it's blue. Oh. I want green then. I want orange. Clear.
No, something isn't right. I need to start the reaction from the beginning again.
Okay. Me done goofed. Right, well it says orange is third. And it says clear or colourless
First
after
condition,
orange.
all 7 reagents should be used.
Cool.
Second condition, orange reagent should be the third
one
in the sequence after the blue reagent. Third condition, colorless reagent should be added after the orange reagent.
So are they saying, right, okay, so like Let's try it. I'll use me blues and orange.
No, something isn't right. I need to start the reaction from the beginning again.
Okay. All 7 need to be used.
First condition, all 7 reagents should be used.
Yep.
Second condition, orange reagent should be the third one in the sequence after the blue reagent. Third condition,
So it's blue, something,
colorless
something, orange.
reagent should be added after the orange reagent.
And after orange, I want clear. So is it saying that always after orange must be clear? So in which case I'd want like blue, green, blue, or blue, blue, green. And then orange, clear, for example. Alright, so let's go. Blue, green, blue, and then orange. Colorless. Orange. And colorless.
Done. Now I can proceed further.
Sometimes I'm clever.
Let us see if the content of this letter sheds a little light upon the mystery. I did as you asked and hid them well. Interesting. How would Hurtley react to this?
I did as you asked and hid them well. I beg you to reconsider something I swear, and remember our vows. I have done nothing dishonorable for which you something me.
A new suspect, but this one refuses to talk. This case is more...
Woodman's Lee, let's check those boots. He's a good puppy. Going for a drink.
These boots match the footprints exactly.
Yes, they do. So he was at least there. Oh. He was there. That's not technically right. Oh, hello. Hello. Yes. I see you. You all awake now? You had a good snooze? Who's a good girl? Who's a good girl? Yes, it's you. It is you, you rascal. Let's go speak to the woman. Oh. You need an out.
Who could do such a thing? My poor husband.
I'll be right back. Just going to unlock the door for the rascal here so she can run about in the back garden. Yes. And sit. Sit. Good girl. There you go. What is it? You're allowed out. On you go. Go have fun. You want me to throw the toy for you? Okay, I'll throw the toy for you for a second. Down you get. Good girl. Where'd you put your toy? No. There we go.
Please escort this suspect for interrogation. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I would like to ask you a few questions.
I've already told the police that I've nothing to say. And you're not even part of the police.
Precisely, and considering your situation, it might be wise to speak with someone who is, shall we say, rather more neutral. You are a suspect in a murder case.
I know. Inspector Lestrade told me. It's ridiculous.
Could you at least tell me who you are, and exactly what happened that you should be brought here?
My name is Liam Hurtley. That I can tell you. But you're not getting any more than that.
Ah, but I'm Sherlock Holmes.
We shall see.
I know everything. So of course, look at this man. He's got a hat. Oh, it's a big muckle scar. Oh, crested tit. Plant remains.
So tell me, Mr. Hurtley, what did you hide?
Hide? What are you talking about?
I did as you asked, and hid them well. Should I continue?
My letter? But the ink? That's impossible.
A touch of chemistry, nothing special.
Well, you're a smart one. But it's nothing. If you want to know, I was referring to my tools. It was to do with my work, see?
I will check that, Mr. Hurtley. Tell me, Mr. Hurtley, what were you doing at Woodman's Lee?
Woodman's Lee? I've never been there.
Lies.
The second pair of boots that you had with you when you were arrested perfectly match the footprints found near the cabin where Peter Carey was murdered.
Footprints? That's your proof? How many men have boots like mine? That doesn't make me a murderer.
Now that your presence at Woodman's Lee has been proven, would you care to explain it?
I don't remember. What would I be doing there anyway?
Because you are the gardener at Woodman's Lee.
I'm not. How did you...
I observed your hands. They told me that you work with the earth. Small fragments of plants snagged to your trousers indicate that you were mowing very recently. But the most obvious clue presented itself in the bird embroidered on your handkerchief. A crested tit, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, you got me. Yes, I am a gardener, and I went there to get my tools.
That's all for now. Hurtley's stories are false leads, but now I know one thing for certain. I must examine the site where the garden tools are kept at Woodman's Lee. Please escort this suspect for interrogation. Tell me, Mr. Nelligan, what exactly were you hoping to find inside Peter Carey's cabin?
I was trying to find some information about my father.
I assume you had another purpose, to retrieve the bond certificates. Am I correct?
Yes. I discovered some time ago that a few of the missing securities had reappeared on the London market. You can imagine my amazement. I spent months trying to find them, and at last I discovered that the original seller had been Captain Peter Carey. These papers, they belonged to my family, but I could not find them there.
That's all for now. Well, I will see you soon, young man.
So let's go speak to Wifey. Oh, lots of things here. According to was letter by Wilmers, he had something to the spot where the garden tools were kept. He's a gardener at Woodland Flea. I should definitely come up to search. See any new deductions? Nope. I'm going for... And that'll be like a fresh patch or something. Damn roosters. So she is.
Does the name Liam Hurtley mean anything to you?
No, I don't know anyone by that name.
Lies.
Madam, we have information that the valuable stolen papers are hidden amongst the garden tools here at Woodman's Lee. We need to find them.
Oh my. Our tools are kept inside the shed that's right behind me. Here is the key to open it.
Thank you, madam.
Something fishy.
Let's see what could be hidden here.
Small wooden box.
Let us see what is in this box.
Oh. Hang on. So switch. Large rotate. That was cool. I like that.
A bundle of letters in a woman's hand with the Carey family monogram. Hurtley and Mrs. Carey were in a relationship. That is interesting.
You might have been talking to me all the time that I have known you. I cannot describe these feelings, but I suppose that they are sinful and no good can come from them. I fear what might happen. I fear going against God. I thank you for your care, but I cannot leave the man with whom I have been bound by God. It is the divine will, and thus my husband is the cross that I must bear. He makes my life a living hell, but bruises fade, and you must not worry for me. Did she arrange his murder?
Madam, I am aware of your affinity with Liam Hurtley.
Oh, what are you talking about?
Mrs. Carey, we found your letters.
My letters? I asked Liam to return them to me. I wanted to burn them.
Why did Mr. Hurtley put them inside the garden shed?
I don't know. I wanted them back, but I couldn't see him, not after what happened.
Well, here they are.
Oh, this is terrible. Terrible. Liam, how could he? After what he has done.
What
You
have you done?
believe that he killed your husband?
No, I do not know. I do not know. Leave me alone, please.
Thank you, madam. I wonder if Wiggins has managed to find any sailors.
I love you, who's so desperate as jealousy could have roped him into committing murder. True. Gives him more. Oh. I don't think it is. I think it's just coincidence. I think again that's a red herring there. What have you brought me? A stone. Why would you bring me a stone? Just what I always wanted. Oh, sorry. I didn't take it off.
Mr. Holmes, we found the sailors from that list you gave us.
Well done, Wiggins. Let me see. This man is a harpooner, and his initials are PC, the same initials that were found on the tobacco pouch. Wiggins, could you gather some information on one of the sailors that you found? His name is Patrick Cairns.
We found Patrick Cairns.
Good job, Wiggins. Where is he?
He lives in a small furnished dump of a room, but he's always at the Sea Witch pub, where he does arm wrestles for money and drinks.
Excellent. Here is your reward. 2 guineas.
Thank you, sir.
If I wish to speak to Cairns without alarming him, I had better dress as a sailor.
There we go. Back. There we go. Back. And good, my mic's still working just fine. Let's see here. Nah, sailor wouldn't have glasses. Maybe a mustache. That's a sailor. It's a really unkept one. There we go.
Now I can approach Cairns and see if he recognizes the pouch.
See what Watson says in my disguise.
What should we do next, Holmes?
I mean, I don't look like Holmes. Why are you talking to me? Eh? Eh? I think I've done all my deductions. Oh. What's wrong with Peter Carey's wife? And even fell in love, but didn't go beyond the affectionate but harmless letters and words. I'm going to say harmless flirting. Carey gives him a motive of crime for her. Yeah, I think there's a third person. You'll be a big fella, I'm guessing.
Hello there. Are you Cairns?
What do you want?
We've heard all about the gambling and arm wrestling here. You seem like the likely sort, and I'm up for it.
I start at 10 shillings.
Suits me.
I don't see Holmes able to beat him. Stamina, okay, Phil. There's moves, push, restrain, idle, implying your counter strategy. Pay attention to your stamina. Alright. Press to push, R2 to restrain. Oh, I've got him! Maybe not. Oh wait, is that me losing? That's me losing. Whoops.
That's the arm that killed 100 whales. Care to lose another 10 shillings?
Definitely smokes.
I'm ready to try again.
Fine. If you want me to take all your money, no problem with that.
Oh, come on. Oh, no. Stamina's just not enough. I'll go idle. It's hard to tell with the facial expressions at times, like. Come on. Just keep going. Get over the line. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Give me a full bar. Oh, he's angry.
You were lucky. I wasn't focused. Let's go again.
I'm ready to try again.
Fine.
Oh, I've now won my money back. I
You
need to
take all
win
your
something.
money. No problem with that.
I need to try and get a wee bit of a win. Regenerate. Regenerate there. That's it, all the way down. Come on. That's it. Keep going. Come on.
Well, good for you, I reckon. You're stronger than you look. Here's your 10 shillings.
I'd like to buy you a drink.
Good winner as well. That's good. Let's have a drink.
Bottoms up.
You're a good type. Seems you've managed to settle down in life. You've got money, eh?
Not all that much.
Oh, well. At least you're not as poor as me.
Why do you say poor? You're not working?
I'm a harpooner. But you see, the whalers are rare. They don't pay much. So, as a result, I find myself arm wrestling to pay for my drink.
A harpooner? Interesting. You've had a lot of adventures, I bet.
Of course. It's been a dozen years since I've sailed. I've seen everything. Old Wallace, damn Black Peter, Great Roger. We sailed to the Cape of Good Hope.
Black Peter, you say? I've heard rumors about that one.
He was the worst of them all. He was a liar, and violent too. Swinging those fists of his around. He was a tyrant, and not much of a captain. At least, not as good as Great Roger.
I see. Yes. I was told terrible tales about Black Peter.
But you ain't heard the worst.
Really?
Tell me, and let's have another drink.
It was in 1883 that it happened. The August of that year. Peter Carey was captain of the Sea Unicorn, and I was a spare harpooner. We were coming out of the ice pack on our way home. One evening, we saw a little craft that had been blown north. There was only one man on her, and he wasn't a sailor. The crew must have thought that she'd foundered, and they made for the Norwegian coast in the dinghy. I guess they all drowned. We took the man on board.
And who was he?
I dunno. During the crossing, he and the skipper enjoyed some long talks. His baggage was just a tin box.
That's strange enough.
Aye. Even stranger was that on the second night, he disappeared. Nobody knew what happened to him. And of course, nobody could ask Black Peter about it.
You know what happened, don't you?
I do. I saw the skipper tie his heels and push him over the rail in the middle of my watch on that dark night. 2 days before we sighted the Shetland lights.
Black Peter's a murderer.
Aye. Those that know him wouldn't be surprised to hear it. But all this must stay between us. All right?
Of course.
Of course.
Back in a second. I'm off to the Kazi.
I'll be here with my drink.
As an experienced harpooner currently facing unemployment and poverty, he can be found most often in the Sea Witch, a public house deemed popular by the sailors, whom he arm wrestles for. Like many of his kind, he is a heavy smoker, indicated by his yellowed fingernails. Plan picture carries power to determine if the pouch is his. I mean, that was kind of a pointless mini-game, really. Where is the fucking Kazi? I'll just pretend to go.
Here it is.
Ah. Didn't put it in enough last time. Got it.
Have you got any tobacco? I've run out of mine.
Nah, I lost my pouch. I don't know where. Wait a minute. What's this?
Oh, is this your tobacco pouch?
Well, oh, it is.
Well, I have to go now. I know a captain who's planning an expedition to Cape Cod. Captain Ahab's his name. He commanded the Pequod. He might need good harpooners. I'll tell him about you.
Maybe. If you like, aye.
I'm done here. It's time to leave.
Nice Moby Dick reference there. Finding the fish belongs to him. This means that he was at the scene of the murder and thus proves his guilt. Yeah, the pouch only proves a visit. Doesn't prove guilt. Is it wanting me to say it does prove guilt? I mean, but there's no motive. Can I talk to him again?
Care to lose another 10 shillings?
Let's go back to Baker Street. See if Watson has any ideas. I'm guessing it is Cairns. But from what he said, there's no cause for motive as far as I'm concerned.
You met Patrick Cairns, the harpooner. Do you believe he's the murderer?
Helpful. Anything in Woodman's Lee that I've missed? Oh, look, I'm still the fisherman. That's good of me. See, it's got that symbol there to say it also wants me to make a decision, but...
Leave me alone, please.
Fine. Alright, Scotland Yard. Nope.
I'm not saying another word.
What am I doing here? I've done nothing wrong.
How is the investigation going, Mr. Holmes? Do you have any idea who the murderer is yet?
I got it right.
If you wouldn't mind, Mr. Holmes, could you explain it to me?
As I informed you on our way here, Patrick Cairns is the murderer of Black Peter.
Why bring me here? Wouldn't it be better if we were out looking for him?
That would be futile, as he will be with us in approximately 12 seconds.
Oh, well, if this is your idea of humour...
No, I just heard the front door. Prepare yourself.
Good day, gentlemen. A young lad gave me a note from Captain Ahab. Am I at the right address? Is he here?
Indeed, it is the correct address. But in place of your captain, may I present to you Inspector Lestrade of Scotland Yard?
That means...
It means, my friend, you are arrested for the murder of Black Peter.
What? What? A trap? You think you can take me?
Here now. We'll have none of that.
I say that we will.
That failed miserably. There we go, okay. I know what I'm doing now. Oh! Holmes got a hell of a hook.
Lestrade, are you all right? Are you able to
Trophy hand
stand?
there.
Oh, my jaw. Gore. You took me by surprise, Mr. Holmes. Otherwise, you would have seen what I'm capable of. Oh.
Yes, he was lucky.
Yeah, but you got him.
It was remarkably easy. He lost his balance after he struck you.
And you practice boxing, I know. You must have hit him hard. Our fellow is knocked out.
We should call for a police cab and then take you to the hospital.
Yes, well, no need for a hospital. I would prefer to keep this between us. You know.
Of course, Inspector. The case is closed.
Inspired by being a professional harpooner, the only one capable of executing such an accurate throw. His tobacco pouch was found inside Karen's cabin. He is a cold-blooded murderer. You have decided to bring him to justice. Press to check your conclusion. May spoil game experience. Oh, I feel like I need to know. Now, does that lock out any trophies for me? Let's have a quick glance at the list. Because I got the trophy bruiser just there. Beat Cairns in a fight. So I go trophies. I think this suspends the video of the stream, but you can still hear the dialogue. Or still hear me. So, collect all possible give trophies. Finish Black Peter case. So I'm assuming I'm seconds away from that. Finish bunch of cases, complete the game. Finish 25 mini games and puzzles without skipping. Okay, 35, 45. Reach 6 correct conclusions for all 6 cases. Ooh. Reach all possible conclusions in the game. Receive maximum personality ranking. Finish 15 character observations without skipping. Gather 26 character portraits. Yep. 10 dialogue QTs without a failure. Receive 3 messages from those whom you condemned or resolved. Interact with Toby in every case. So I've interacted with Toby once, right? So let me do a quick look up here, because based on that, do I need to like choose another ending, see them all played out, or do I just offer those story related trophies, right? Okay, so now we're at Bruiser. There we go. Child's Play. Right, let's look at this never fail, because it sounds like I could have messed that up. Are uncommon, do not refer to PSN Pro. It's very succinct, as it will always be about pressing square in the allowed and quite large time window. You'll then have to choose an appropriate answer from the appearing list. No errors are allowed here. Not allowed in the sense that the game will make you retry. If you choose the wrong response, meaning you cannot technically fail, a worst case is that your wits do not allow you to choose the right. Right, okay. The end of case shows you'll always have to make a moral choice regardless of the conclusion you have reached to unlock the story. You need doing the same type of decisions for all cases. I always condemn or absolve the conflict. You can check the logbook for the past cases, decisions you made in them. Okay. So oh, she's eating her bone. That's fine. Right, okay. So choose another. So is make all the choices effectively. And end with Patrick Kieran. So I was correct assumptions then.
The case is solved. I am now ready to present the guilty party.
So tell me, who killed Black Peter?
It was John Nelligan, Inspector.
I thought as much, but I failed to see his motive.
Revenge, Inspector. Black Peter possessed the bond certificates that had belonged to Nelligan's father, and young Nelligan wished to retrieve them.
Well then, I'll arrest this Nelligan. I don't fancy his chances of getting out of prison after this.
I will accompany you, Inspector. You are guilty of the murder of Black Peter. Confess now, and your punishment may be more merciful.
No! I didn't kill him!
Your motive? The valuable securities that Peter Carey stole from your father. Carey refused to return the bond certificates, and then he threatened you. You were afraid, and in your panic, you took the harpoon and made your lucky throw.
But that's not true!
You're a liar, Mr. Nelligan. It's all over now.
The case is resolved, Inspector. I shall return to Baker Street.
Very well, Mr. Holmes. Goodbye for now.
Choose another ending. So now I want to get Hartley and then Glenn.
I am now ready to present the
Although I
guilty
like being
party.
able to see.
So tell me, who killed Black Peter?
There are two culprits, Inspector. Nelligan and Hurtley.
What? Well, I would never have guessed, Mr. Holmes. They are a rotten pair, though.
It was a combination of two motives, culminating in one crime.
What were their motives?
The first was revenge. Black Peter possessed the bond certificates that had belonged to Nelligan's father, and young Nelligan wished to retrieve them.
And the second?
The second was a crime of passion. Liam Hurtley was in love with Black Peter's wife, and this caused a conflict between him and Carrie.
Well, well, well. Makes sense, Mr. Holmes.
I suggest that you organize a small confrontation between the two, just to confirm my accusation.
That's a good idea, Mr. Holmes. I'll talk to these fellows. Join me in the interrogation room. Gentlemen, we know everything about your association to kill Black Peter. Admit that you planned it together.
Our association? I don't even know this man.
You needed to kill Peter Carey. There had to be two of you there.
Ridiculous. I'm innocent.
All that remains is to determine the level of guilt. Which one of you is the initiator in this case?
But I just told you I've never seen this man before.
It's him. He's the culprit. He was forcing me. He threatened me. He's the mastermind behind it all.
Shut up. You're a lunatic.
Well, it all seems very clear, don't you think, Mr. Holmes?
Inspector, I believe that Nelligan is the true culprit. Hurtley was his accomplice, blinded by his love for Peter's wife.
You've got it wrong. It isn't true.
That's right. I confess.
Well, young man, it turns out you are the gang leader. I don't fancy your chances now.
The case is resolved, Inspector. I shall return to Baker Street.
Very well, Mr. Holmes. Goodbye for now.
The case is solved. I am now ready to present the guilty party.
So tell me, who killed Black Peter?
It was Liam Hurtley.
That doesn't surprise me. I've never seen a guiltier-looking fella.
He was in love with Judith Carey. It caused a conflict that proved fatal for her husband.
I see. Come on now, let us confront him.
See what the swine has to say.
Liam Hurtley, you are formally accused of the murder of Peter Carey. We are aware that you were in love with Carey's wife. He was a violent and irascible man. He needed to be eliminated. You had no qualms.
But that's absurd. I'm innocent.
Well, we caught you, lad.
The case is resolved, Inspector.
That was
I
shite
shall
dialogue.
return to Baker Street.
Very well, Mr. Holmes. Goodbye for now.
Let's go to the correct ending again.
good afternoon. I must be at the wrong address. I'd like to speak with a ship's captain, Captain Ahab. Is that you?
No, my name is Sherlock Holmes.
That detective fella? So, you wanted to see me?
That is correct. We need to talk.
About what?
About Black Peter, who was killed in his own hut with a harpoon.
You know, don't ya?
Yes.
How?
The tobacco pouch. You recognized it.
Oh, the sailor. It was you. Unbelievable. Well, fine. I confess. But if you really do know everything, you should also know that I didn't want to kill him. He made me do it.
I know. Did you know about this story with the bond certificates? Did you need money?
Yeah. I just wanted him to cough up a little silver. I'm out of work, and I thought maybe he could help me. Well, he refused outright, and he insulted me. I reminded him I knew all about that murder he committed at sea in 1883. Then he got mad when I spoke about his treasure. I barely just had time to throw the harpoon at him before he could jump at me with his knife. You know the truth. What will you do now?
I ask that you return the bond certificates. Keep some of them. You will need them in your exile. It is better that you leave the country for a few years.
And you won't say anything to the police?
I will not say anything as long as you return the money.
Well, I'll do as you ask. But what about Inspector Lestrade?
I will deal with him. Goodbye.
Sometime later.
It's good that you asked me to come, Mr. Holmes. We do need to talk.
About what?
What do you mean? Our case, Mr. Holmes. You sent me a message via your little thug.
His name is Wiggins, Inspector.
Telling me that the case is solved. Well, Mr. Holmes, tell me, who is our murderer and where is he?
The morgue.
Eh?
His name is, or rather was, Pablo Coventral. He was also on the ship with Peter Carey, and he was a harpooner. I'll tell you everything, Inspector, but do calm down. Mrs. Hudson will bring us tea and orange cake.
Orange cake? You're spoiling me, Mr. Holmes. That's my favourite.
Uh-huh.
Ah, Mr. Holmes. Inspector Lestrade told me that I should thank you for clearing my name. He also said that you were waiting for me here. I came as fast as I could. I cannot thank you enough. It is all because of you that this nightmare is finally over.
I believe that this belongs to you.
My father's securities. Incredible! But how did you get them?
It would take far too long to explain.
Tell me. This is extraordinary. You are a genius.
Then that may serve as an explanation. Goodbye, Mr. Nelligan, and good luck.
Goodbye, Mr. Holmes. And thank you. 1,000 times thank you.
So it's saying clues found 16, but is that... Safe for this could be removed. Press no if you... Press no if you would like to select another more choice. Press yes if you're...
This trip to the countryside will be good for you, Holmes. As your friend and your doctor, I really do recommend that you give yourself a complete change of scene. Fresh air, brisk walks, bird watching, chopping wood.
Sounds intolerable. I mean, certainly it sounds delightful.
But you haven't yet told me who your friend is. The one we're going to visit.
He is a bee lover.
A bee lover? Do you mean that he keeps bees? That must be Mrs. Hudson, bringing the warm cloth that I requested.
There is someone to see you, Mr. Holmes.
I have no time. Send whoever it is away.
Yes, Holmes, I really think we ought to leave now.
Mycroft.
Sherlock.
Oh, Mr. Holmes? Perhaps you don't remember me. I'm Dr. Watson. We met at the Diogenes Club a few years ago. I documented our encounter in a short story I gave the title The Greek Interpreter.
He does remember you, Watson. My brother remembers everything, and that is why he is so valuable to the government.
We are about to depart for the train station.
I know.
You know?
Sherlock, I need your help. There are people who presently threaten both our country and the Crown itself. You must help us with those methods of yours.
Need? Help? Those are not words I would readily associate with you, Mycroft.
I wrote you a letter, but you did not reply. And this is not about politics. It's about people. People similar to those whom you pretend to defend in your petty detective affairs.
Everything is about politics with you, Mycroft. I'm not interested. Have some of your agents, your spies, or worse, undertake this job of yours. You are defending your people, and they have little to do with the people I choose to help, I can assure you.
That's the point. You think exactly as they do.
Who are they?
The Merry Men. He is talking about the Merry Men, a band of idealistic terrorists.
Sherlock, do please think about it. They are planning something diabolical. Your country needs you.
You need me, Mycroft, and you are not the country. Although if your waistline expands very much further...
Mrs. Hudson, tea will not be necessary. Dr. Watson, the train conductor, Mr. Parker, is aware that you will be 7 minutes late. You are in the 4th car. The train will be waiting for you. Sherlock, enjoy your time in Staffordshire. And do, please, at least write to me on your return.
I get that 100%.